I never thought Maple Street, the quiet little road where I lived, could become the center of a scandal. It was the kind of place where people waved at each other while mowing the lawn, and the most exciting news was when Mrs. Leary's dog chased the mailman again. But everything changed the day the town's charity fund disappeared. I had lived there for 10 years. My name is Mark, and I work as a high school teacher. Life in Maplewood was predictable, and I liked it that way. Predictable meant safe. But safe vanished the moment our community savings vanished too. It started at the town meeting in the old library hall. We were supposed to discuss the upcoming fall festival, a tradition that had kept neighbors together for decades. Money had been raised all summer long: bake sales, car washes, raffles. Over $10,000 sat in the community account, meant for decorations, games, and helping families in need. When the treasurer, Mr. Clarkson, stood up to give his report, his face looked pale. He adjusted his glasses, shuffled his papers, and then finally said it: "The money is gone." At first, nobody reacted. Then the silence turned into gasps, murmurs, and finally chaos. Gone? How could it just be gone? The police were called, but in a small town, they were more used to speeding tickets than fraud investigations. So suspicion turned inward. Who had access to the account? Who could have known the password? Who could be desperate enough to take it?
That's where I made my mistake. I volunteered to help figure it out. "I'll talk to people," I said. "I know most of you well enough. Maybe something will come up." From that moment on, I became an amateur detective, walking into a mess of secrets I hadn't expected. My first stop was Mr. Clarkson himself. He was sweating, fumbling with his pen. "I didn't take it," he said too quickly. "You know me, Mark. I've been treasurer for 15 years. Passwords can be stolen," I offered. "Or maybe someone close to you." His eyes darted. "My nephew sometimes uses my computer." But he wouldn't. No, he couldn't. Already, I had a lead. But in small towns, one lead usually opens 10 more. I asked around. Mrs. Patterson, who ran the bake sales, insisted she saw Clarkson at the bank 2 days before the money vanished. "He was arguing with the teller," she whispered. "Something about withdrawals." Then I bumped into Jenny, the teenager who had been helping at the raffle booth. She bit her lip nervously when I asked about the funds. "I don't know anything," she said. But her backpack jingled with coins, and when I pressed further, she muttered, "Okay, I borrowed some for concert tickets. But only $50. I swear I was gonna pay it back." So Clarkson, the nephew, the teenager. Suddenly everyone looked guilty. The strangest clue came from old Mr. Harris, who lived at the end of Maple Street. He leaned on his cane, eyes gleaming with mischief. "You're looking in the wrong place," he told me. "It wasn't stolen. It was hidden." "Hidden? Why?" "Because people aren't always who they seem," he replied cryptically. I didn't know what to make of that. But I couldn't shake the feeling he knew more than he was letting on. A week later, the festival planning was falling apart. Trust was gone. Neighbors accused neighbors. Clarkson nearly resigned. Jenny stopped showing up at school. And whispers began to spread that maybe Maplewood wasn't as honest a town as we like to believe. That's when I decided to dig deeper. Literally, at midnight, I went to the library hall where the meetings were held. The back room door was unlocked. Inside, papers were scattered across the desk, but something else caught my eye: a floorboard slightly lifted. With effort, I pried it open. There, in an old tin box, lay stacks of cash. The missing charity money, but instead of feeling triumphant, I felt uneasy. Someone had hidden it. Not stolen it. But who, and why? Before I could think further, I heard footsteps. The door creaked, and in walked Mr. Harris. "I told you it was hidden," he said, almost proudly. "Why? Why would you do this?" I demanded. He sighed. "Because people needed to be reminded." You see, Mark, everyone's been fighting, bake sale drama, raffle arguments, Clarkson being accused left and right. I wanted them to realize trust is more important than money. If $10,000 disappearing could turn neighbors into enemies, then what's the point of community at all? I stared at him. So this was some kind of lesson. Exactly. And look, you found it. Now you can tell them the truth. Let's see if they're ready to come together again. The next evening, at an emergency meeting, I revealed everything. People gasped, some scolded Harris for his reckless stunt, others just shook their heads. But when the shouting died down, something shifted. Mrs. Patterson apologized for spreading rumors. Clarkson forgave Jenny for her small theft. Even the teenagers admitted their mistakes. By the end of the night, laughter returned, and plans for the festival were back on track. The money was safe. The community was bruised but not broken. And me? I realized something important. Sometimes the real mystery isn't where the money went, but where our trust in each other disappears when things go wrong. Harris had been right in a strange way. Maplewood needed the reminder. That fall festival ended up being the best we'd ever had, colorful, loud, and joyful. And every time I walked down Maple Street afterward, I felt something stronger than suspicion. I felt connection, because sometimes, the strangest mysteries teach us the clearest lessons.